Late this morning, the president held an impromptu press conference from a highly unusual location.
Sir, why are you on the roof?
I've also never been interested in politics till the last sort of couple of years, and now I am. Now I can't wait for him to wake up and tweet.
Yeah, well, we have to be.
Do you know what I mean?
Because something is.
Oh, I think
there's
so.
a lot at stake,
It's made everyone grow up.
Absolutely.
Everyone just thought, well, politics is something that some grown-ups do and they're paid for it and we'll be fine, right?
Right.
But now we go, who's in charge? He's doing what?
Yeah.
You know, it's like an experiment that went wrong. It's like when a teacher says, well, okay, you be in charge then. And then she goes, oh God, I shouldn't have said that. Look what's happened. They burnt down the lab. You know, it's like...
It's a royal fantasy vacation for our president. He started off today taking a magical carriage ride with the king. Let's take a peek inside for a regal close-up. There you go. They look like two turkey meatballs you forgot overnight in the microwave. Melania, she got her own carriage ride. She rode behind in a separate carriage with Queen Camilla. Seen here wondering how to turn on this purple lamp.
Stephen Colbert and Ricky Gervais are dismantling Donald Trump with a level of precision that makes it look unfair, because the current president of the United States supplies more material than any comedy writer's room could dream up.
A lot of etiquette to remember when you meet the royals. For example, when meeting King Charles or Queen Camilla, the first address is Your Majesty. For Prince William and Princess Catherine, it's Your Royal Highness. And if Trump runs into Prince Andrew, the correct address is We never met, remember? I have no idea who you are.
Every time he steps behind a podium, it's less a presidential address and more an audition for the world's worst improv troupe. Colbert and Gervais don't have to exaggerate, they just highlight the chaos, and suddenly governance looks like slapstick served with an extra scoop of delusion.
What's happened is, when you've had privilege so long, equality feels like oppression. They're basically saying, some people want some of our equality.
Yes.
Well, of course they do.
Yes.
That's it.
Damn them, damn their eyes. And one of them ended up president. That's the ultimate offence.
I'm nearly numb to it now. I didn't even bother commenting on that tweet the other day where he said, if I had, even if that terrible shooting, I'd probably have gotten in there even if I didn't have a weapon. That's what a 10-year-old says. I could beat up a lion. I could fight a lion if I had to.
Fair fight.
After the horsey ride, Trump and King Charles went back to Windsor Castle to inspect the beefeaters. And I bet Trump was excited about that. Hold on a second here. Let me get this straight, fella. You're telling me you get paid to eat beef. That's what you're saying?
Colbert thrives on pointing out the hypocrisy woven into Trump's every move, while Gervais treats him as a character so absurd he wouldn't make it past the first draft of a sitcom script. Together, they've turned roasting Trump into an art form. Each new scandal is a brushstroke, every outburst another splash of paint, until the canvas resembles a surreal cartoon of power in freefall. And the wildest part? Trump keeps volunteering as their main character.
At one point, the president tried to communicate through hand signals of some kind. I don't know what this is. I think he's saying, look, the Capitol Dome is a D cup. Look at that. Then, look at that. Let's get two of them. One here, one there.
Trump's obsession with appearances is their favorite playground. Gervais paints him as a man who believes that if the spotlight is bright enough, it will hide the cracks in the foundation. Gervais takes that further, portraying a leader who sees global summits not as opportunities to lead, but as backdrops for his personal talent show. The presidency becomes a stage, the policies become props, and the audience, unfortunately, becomes the American people, stuck watching a one-man show with no intermission.
I think, what if we just told him he got in? So he gets up every day, right, and he does a little address, and we go, yeah, it's brilliant, the president, hi, president. And they're all extras.
Right.
They're all extras. And he just never knows. He was never president.
And we're filming it and watching it.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be amazing.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I think he'd be up for it.
I bet he would.
Colbert loves dissecting Trump's endless craving for validation. Every time Trump brags about himself, Colbert highlights it as a desperate cry for applause, the political equivalent of a child screaming, "Look at me, I'm special." Gervais, with his signature bite, pushes the ridicule into darker territory, suggesting Trump acts less like a world leader and more like a contestant on a reality show where the only prize is his own reflection. The result is devastatingly funny because it's devastatingly accurate.
The president denied that Attorney General Pam Bondi informed him that his name was in the Epstein files. So naturally, last night, the Wall Street Journal reported that Attorney General Pam Bondi informed the president that his name was in the Epstein files. I, for one, was shocked. What are you going to tell me next?
The international stage has also become comedy gold. Trump approaches diplomacy the way a game show host approaches contestants, grinning, waving, and hoping someone else does the actual work. Gervais ridicules the bizarre contradictions of a man who insults allies while praising adversaries, leaving the rest of the world bewildered. Gervais amps it up by portraying Trump as someone who thinks negotiating treaties is like haggling for used furniture, with the same level of strategy and even less dignity.
Then he did some very normal, unmiked roof shouting.
What does that mean?
Yeah! What does that mean? What does any of this mean? How are you the guy in charge? Why do we have to pretend?
And then there's Trump's legendary relationship with truth. Facts under his watch are treated like annoying relatives you invite to dinner, but ignore once they arrive.
Crime, but we do have a cover-up. And just like the cover-up on his face, it is patchy and there's some really ugly under there. The incriminating details just keep coming out. For instance, this resurfaced 2010 Jeffrey Epstein deposition.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Okay, that's a slam dunk. Just say no. Okay, take it away, Jeffrey.
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Wow.
Colbert dismantles this by pointing out how each claim he makes collapses under the slightest scrutiny. Gervais sharpens the edge, presenting Trump as a man so allergic to reality that he should come with a medical warning. Together, they show how leading with fiction instead of fact creates not just comedy, but catastrophe. Colbert and Gervais show him not as the conqueror he envisions, but as the comic relief he unintentionally performs. They reduce the myth of strength into the spectacle of a clown stumbling across the stage, juggling promises that vanish mid-act, tripping over the very pedestal he tries to climb. His insistence on playing the central character in every scene only amplifies the comedy, because the more he insists on being the star, the more he resembles a caricature. What makes Colbert and Gervais so effective is that they don't have to invent. The power of their roast comes from holding up a mirror. The exaggerations are minimal because the material is already beyond parody. They don't conjure alternate realities. They reveal the one everyone can see. The comedy flows naturally because the contradictions are so obvious, and the laughter erupts because the truth is stranger than any script could ever dare to imagine.